The winter of 1942 had turned the North Sea into a raging tempest. German submarine U-609 had been lost for months. No radio contact, no sightings, nothing. Then, out of nowhere, Allied intelligence picked up a garbled signal, a voice repeating, coordinates in broken German, distorted, almost pleading. Do not surface. We are alive. Trapped. Lieutenant Klaus Becker gripped the edge of the sonar console. This can't be possible. U-609 was sunk months ago, but the signal persisted, calling from the depths of the stormy sea. The Allied reconnaissance team prepared a dive. Inside the cramped control room of the rescue sub, tension was suffocating. Petty Officer Meyer whispered, "The instruments. They're malfunctioning, like the sub itself is alive." The sonar picked up faint metallic thuds below. Rhythmic, deliberate. Klaus's hand hovered over the intercom, frozen. They're sending signals, or something is signaling us. Hours later, through the murky water, the wreck appeared. Hull cracked, hatches open, ice-cold currents flowing through shattered corridors. Diver Schmidt peered inside the bow. "Sir, there's nothing. Yet. I feel it watching." The water itself seemed to shiver as they approached. A faint light flickered from within the hull, moving as if someone, or something, was walking inside. The team entered the submarine. Green glow from broken instrumentation lit the corridors. Shadows twisted unnaturally along the walls. Every step echoed through metal like distant screams. Schmidt froze. "Sir, the crew, they're there. But wrong. Something is wrong." Klaus swallowed. "Keep moving and stay together. This isn't just a wreck. It's alive." Finally, they reached the control room. Bloodstains streaked across the metal floor. Logs floated in the water. Papers torn and faded. The signal continued. Faint, desperate, repeating in broken German. "Help us. We are still inside. Alive." Klaus gritted his teeth. This was no accident. U-609 didn't sink. Something took it, and it's still down here. The team pushed deeper into the submarine. Water lapped at their boots, carrying a faint metallic stench. Every light flickered like it struggled to survive. Petty Officer Meyer muttered, "Sir, this water, it's moving, like it's alive." Klaus shook his head. "No, just currents, just currents." But a soft sound echoed from deep inside. Rhythmic thuds. Slow, deliberate. They reached the crew quarters. Bunks were twisted. Personal effects floating mid-water. Untouched by time yet strangely decayed. A diary drifted past Meyer's hand. The pages were smeared with something dark, illegible, yet pulsating faintly. Private Schmidt whispered, "It's like the crew is still here, but they're not." Klaus's grip tightened on his flashlight. "We're not alone." They entered the control room. Broken instruments cast eerie shadows on the walls. A figure appeared behind the panels, blurred, half-transparent, motionless. Schmidt froze. "It's moving, but not alive." Suddenly, gauges spiked. Lights flickered. A whisper echoed through the metal. "Leave before it sees you." They reached the torpedo bay. Floating skeletal remains drifted in the water, wrapped in fragments of uniform. Some faces were frozen in terror. Others twisted into expressions that should have been impossible. Meyer gagged. They're still here in some form." Klaus whispered, "The black sun energy." "No, wait. It's not the sun. It's this sub. Something corrupted it." Red warning lights flashed intermittently, bathing the room in a sinister glow. A dark shadow moved from the far end, deliberate and slow. It was humanoid. It was wrong. It was the crew, yet not the crew. Klaus gritted his teeth, raising his rifle. This is just the beginning. Whatever's down here, it's waiting, and it knows we're here. The team pressed on, the corridor narrowing as water rose above their knees. Emergency lights flickered, casting grotesque shadows on the walls. Silhouettes moved beneath the water. Humanoid, but distorted, limbs bending unnaturally. Private Schmidt swallowed hard. They're following us, beneath the water. Klaus shook his head. Keep moving. Don't look back. But every instinct screamed. They weren't alone. They entered the mess hall. Tables were overturned, utensils floated mid-air, suspended in the icy water. A faint melodic humming filled the room. A song in German, sung softly, but no lips moved. Petty Officer Meyer's face turned pale. It's them, the crew, singing from beyond. Klaus clenched his fists. We came here to find survivors, not ghosts. The engine room groaned as massive machinery shifted on its own. Shadows stretched and writhed along the walls, reaching toward the squad. Private Elias whispered, "Sir, they're trying to pull us in." One of the shadowed figures lunged through a pipe, disappearing instantly, leaving only a scream echoing through the metal corridors. The captain's cabin lay in ruins. Cracked windows showed only black water outside. A diary floated in the air, pages glowing faintly green. Meyer read aloud. "We thought we could harness the ocean. We were wrong. It took us, and now it waits." Klaus frowned. This wasn't just a sub. It's a vessel, a prison for something unimaginable. The squad turned a corner, only to find themselves trapped. Water surged from a side hatch. A massive shadow emerged, looming, monstrous, a twisted silhouette of a once human crewman. Klaus shouted, "Stand your ground! Fire if you have to." But deep inside, he knew. Bullets alone couldn't stop what had claimed U-609, and it was hungry. The squad descended into the engine room, the turbines looming like giants in the flickering lights. Water swirled around their boots, carrying faint, whispering voices. Private Elias swallowed hard. They're in here. They're waiting. Klaus gritted his teeth. Stay close. Don't let them separate us. Rust covered the machinery, but shadows moved unnaturally along the walls, bending, twisting, crawling like living metal. Petty Officer Meyer froze. They're shaping themselves. From the machines, every step echoed, but the echoes didn't match their movements. It was as if the sub itself was alive, mocking them. The corridor flooded higher, the water now chest deep. Ghostly apparitions of drowned sailors floated just beneath the surface. Schmidt whispered, They want us to join them." Klaus held his rifle tight. "This is no longer a rescue. This is survival." Sparks flew from the electrical panels. Green light flickered, illuminating the horror in their own eyes. Machines groaned, gears turning by themselves. A low, guttural voice echoed, "Leave, or stay, forever." Meyer's knees buckled. We can't stop it." They reached the stairwell, hoping to retreat. From the flooded depths, a monstrous shadow lunged upward. A twisted form of U-609's captain, fused with machinery, water dripping from its hollow eyes. Klaus shouted, "Hold the line. Don't let it take anyone else." The water surged as the sub's darkness consumed them, and the nightmare was far from over. The squad entered the control room, water rising to their waists. Instruments were shattered, some still flickering with a sickly green glow. The sound of dripping water echoed like whispers. "You shouldn't be here. Stay, forever." Private Schmidt's face drained of color. "They're waiting for us." Klaus swallowed hard. "This isn't a sub anymore. It's a trap. A shadow rose from the flooded floor. A humanoid form, limbs bent at impossible angles. Petty Officer Meyer stepped back in horror. It's one of the crew, but not. Water rippled around it, sending waves across the room. It lunged forward silently, faster than any human could move. The squad tried to regroup. Green mist filled the corridor, thickening, clinging to their skin. Private Elias coughed violently. It's changing the water, the air. Klaus barked orders. Hold formation. Don't let it separate us. But every step felt like fighting against an unseen force. They reached the torpedo bay. Semi-transparent apparitions of U-609's crew floated in the water, faces twisted in agony, reaching out with watery hands. Meyer screamed. "They're trying to pull us in." Klaus gritted his teeth. "This is no accident. The sub is alive, feeding, and it wants us." Red warning lights flickered violently. The monstrous shadow, a twisted fusion of crew and machine, towered over them. Klaus raised his rifle, voice shaking. "We fight, or we die down here." The water surged as the sub seemed to pulse with life, the nightmare of U-609 reaching new heights. The corridor seemed to stretch endlessly, water up to their waists. Shadows on the walls twisted unnaturally, as if alive. Private Schmidt whispered, "They're watching, waiting, thinking." Klaus tightened his grip on the rifle. "This sub isn't just haunted. It's intelligent. It knows we're here." They passed the sleeping quarters. Bunks floated eerily, and distorted faces of drowned crew stared from the water. Petty Officer Meyer gagged. They're alive somehow, but not human anymore." Klaus said quietly, "We're not just fighting monsters. We're fighting memories and madness." The control room was in chaos. Green light flickered, shadows reaching from broken machinery. The hum of the sub grew louder, like a heartbeat. Elias stammered, They want us to join the sub." Klaus's voice cut through. "Keep moving. Don't look back." Every second they lingered, the sub pulled them deeper into its corrupted heart. They entered the torpedo room. Semi-transparent crew floated in the water, swirling around them. The water pulsed like it had its own life. Meyer yelled, "They're dragging us down. We can't fight water in shadows." Klaus fired a shot, the sound echoing through the sub like a warning. The figures recoiled but didn't vanish. They reached the ladder leading to the upper deck, trapped. From the flooded depths, the monstrous shadow of the sub's captain fused with machinery rose, water dripping, eyes glowing red. Klaus shouted, "Climb! Get out of here! Survive!" The sub pulsed, groaned, and seemed to fight them at every step. The descent into madness had only begun. The squad tried to stick together, but the sub's corridors twisted impossibly. Water rose to their chest, and shadows loomed over each soldier individually. Private Schmidt gasped. They're separating us, one by one." Klaus gritted his teeth. "Stay close. We survive together, or not at all." Petty Officer Meyer reached a hatch, hoping for a shortcut. Green mist swirled around him, thick and suffocating. He coughed violently. I can't breathe. It's pulling me in." Klaus called out, "Don't stop! Keep moving!" The mist feeds on hesitation. The control room erupted in chaos. Sparks flew from broken panels as shadowy forms emerged from the water. Elias shouted, They're coming for us." Bullets seemed to pass through them harmlessly. The sub itself had become the weapon. Alive, conscious, hunting. They entered the torpedo bay. Apparitions of the drowned crew reached out from the water, hands grabbing at their boots. Meyer screamed, "They want us to join them. Forever." Klaus shouted back, "Fight for your life." Don't let them pull you under. The squad fought desperately, but the water and spirits were relentless. At the stairwell, they found themselves cornered. From the flooded depths, a massive shadow, fused with the faces of the entire crew of U-609, emerged, eyes glowing red. Klaus raised his rifle, voice shaking. This is it. We either survive together or die alone. The sub shuddered violently, as if alive, and the nightmare pulled them further into its watery embrace. The corridor narrowed further, water reaching their chests. The monstrous shadow from the depths moved deliberately toward them, limbs bending impossibly. Private Schmidt stammered. It knows. What we fear most. Klaus whispered. Focus, don't panic. It feeds on fear. They retreated into the engine room. Machines groaned as if alive, water bubbling around them. Green mist swirled, clinging to their skin, whispering unintelligible words. Meyer gagged. It's in my head. I hear them. All of them. Klaus tightened his grip on his rifle. We fight together. Don't let it control your mind. They entered the torpedo room. Ghostly apparitions of drowned crew swirled violently around them, arms stretching impossibly long. Elias shouted, They're everywhere. I can't see. Klaus fired, but the bullets passed harmlessly through the specters. The sub itself seemed to pulse with malevolent intelligence. They reached the captain's cabin. Shattered instruments flickered, shadows crawling along the walls like living things. Meyer whispered, It's trying to possess us, become us. The green glow intensified, filling every corner, every shadow reaching out to touch them. They reached a flooded corridor, trapped. The monstrous entity, a fusion of U-609's captain, crew, and machinery, towered above them, red eyes glowing, water thrashing violently. Klaus shouted, We fight, or we die here. The sub trembled, groaned, and the water surged like a living thing, consuming everything in its path. The squad reached the central hall of U-609. Water churned violently. Shadows twisted unnaturally above them. Klaus whispered, This is it. Either we end this, or we're trapped forever. Private Schmidt shivered. It's alive. It's everywhere. The sub's heartbeat seemed to echo through their bones. The monstrous entity descended from above. Fusion of crew and machinery, dripping water. Meyer shouted, Hold the line. Don't let it touch us. Bullets splashed harmlessly against its form, but the squad refused to retreat. Every step forward was a battle of will. Green mist engulfed them, carrying whispers of drowned sailors. The apparitions swirled violently, hands reaching to drag them into the water. Elias coughed, panicked. They want us to join them. Klaus steadied his rifle. No, not today. We survive. We fight. Sparks flew from the panels. Shadows writhed around machinery like living snakes. The sub groaned in response to their defiance. Meyer cried, It's punishing us. Klaus realized the sub's consciousness was tied to the monstrous entity. Destroy it, and perhaps the nightmare would end. They prepared an explosive charge in the flooded corridor, trembling hands placing it carefully. The monstrous shadow approached, eyes glowing red, water thrashing around it. Klaus shouted, This ends now. On my mark. The sub shuddered violently, the entity looming over them. The final confrontation had begun. The squad braced themselves in the flooded corridor. The explosive charge was set, green mist swirling around their legs. Klaus whispered, Ready. This is our only chance. Private Schmidt nodded, teeth clenched. If we fail, we're lost. Forever. The sub trembled violently, anticipation echoing through every wall. The monstrous entity loomed above them, water thrashing, eyes burning red. It screamed, a sound that made blood chill. Elias shouted, It knows what we're doing." Klaus raised his hand. "Mark." The seconds stretched like hours, tension choking the squad. The charge detonated. Water surged violently, metal groaning as the sub shook. Shards of machinery flew through the flooded corridors. The green mist dissipated, shrieking voices fading into silence. The monstrous shadow convulsed, then slowly disintegrated, swallowed by the explosion. The squad fought to climb the ladder, water rushing past them. Sunlight pierced through the surface, the first warmth they had felt in hours. Meyer gasped. We survived?" Klaus kept moving, dragging the men toward the open water. The nightmare was ending, but scars remained. They finally broke the surface, gasping for air, drenched and exhausted. Behind them, the U-609 sank slowly into the abyss, silent once more. Klaus whispered, "Whatever was down there, it's gone. For now." They floated in silence, the horror behind them. But the ocean held its secrets, waiting for the next unlucky souls.